Welcome back to Burn and Barrel, and today I'm trying a new bourbon here, and I'm going to try a new thing as well. I got this mic here, so I'm going to see how that works out. Hopefully the quality's been good. I'm hoping it's not going to be too echoey or too synthetic, I guess, but we're going to see how it works. If it works out great, then we'll keep going with it. If not, I'll watch videos, see how it sounds to me, and then we'll kind of just move from there. But we're going to try it today, see how it goes, see if it's any different. But anyways, let's just get right on to our review, which today we have an interesting one. Today is going to be Smoke Wagon. So this is their commemorative bottle. So this is, since we just passed, at least for me anyways, which when you see this video, it'll probably be a few weeks after, just because of how the schedule of uploads are going to go. But recently just had 4th of July. So all of these commemorative edition bottles have been releasing up until 4th of July. They'll probably keep releasing shortly after the 4th. But what this is their straight bourbon whiskey, Bibimus Moriendum Est. I guess that's what this says. So this is their normal straight bourbon whiskey, is aged and bottled by Nevada H&C Distilling Company in Las Vegas. So this is just a 92.5 proof bottle, so nothing too crazy. I don't know if there's an age statement on here. Doesn't seem like there is. On the back here, you can read a little bit on the back. It's got more stuff, more labels, things like that. But the back here does say, its barrels are first hand selected from the top 2 floors of the warehouse to create a bourbon that has flavor which is smooth and rich beyond its years. They're then expertly blended, creating a delicate balance of rye spice, sweet notes of corn with toasted oak and caramel. So I would assume this is going to have some rye in the mash bill. I don't know how much. There's nothing on here that says mash bill, but it is distilled in Indiana. So I would assume this is MGP juice. But it does say it is straight bourbon whiskey, so that's going to mean it's at least 2 years old. I don't know how much longer or how much older it is than that, but I would assume it's going to be at least 2 years by law. So yeah, that's what's interesting about this one. We'll see how good it tastes. I just got this one. I got 3 new bottles, I think a few days ago, actually. So this is going to be the first one. I was looking for a couple things. A couple of criteria I had was commemorative editions. I wanted to collect some commemorative edition bottles. And I also wanted to get some unique kind of finishes, just unique mash bills or things like that. So I've got a couple that are going to be coming up, and the next reviews, they're going to be some very interesting finishes, to say the least. Some that I probably have never had. They're more common, but just some that I've not really had before, or that often, really. So I'm excited for that. But I'm also excited for this one just because this was, I believe, $36. So after tax, close to 40. So it's a very not expensive bottle. Definitely on the cheaper side. It's still not like super cheap, but definitely on the cheaper side. And I really just wanted to get it because I thought the label was really cool. Just the commemorative edition. So just wanted to kind of snag that for however limited they release them, or however long it goes, or whatever. So, but we'll see how it tastes. So let's just go ahead and get right into the glass here with the color. So if I'm honest, the color is very light. This reminds me of a Scotch or an Irish whiskey, something that has been aged in a colder climate, which it's been aged in Las Vegas, but Vegas is a very dry heat when it does get heat. So, I mean, obviously Vegas is definitely a hotter place than normal, I would assume, but it's definitely a drier heat, which will definitely affect the kind of aging process you will get. So, I mean, it does have the heat to it, but the humidity of the air that when you kind of age also plays a factor. And this also being 2 years at minimum, which is probably going to be all the ages, if I had to take a guess, about 2, no more than 3. So that's why we're kind of getting this like very watery, light color, very reminiscent of a Scotch or an Irish whiskey, or even like a Japanese whiskey. Just something that doesn't scream very dark flavors, very deep and rich. But who knows? Like I said, that is just a off rip kind of what I'm seeing. But again, that doesn't guarantee that's what's going to happen. So that's just kind of what I'm getting off the initial look. So, but anyway, let's get right into this nose. So kind of what I expected. It's not really super dark and rich. Very, very light. Like I'm getting a little bit of a fruity pebble note. A little bit of a fruity pebble. A little caramel in there, but it's kind of like that sweet cereal. It's kind of like got a fruity note, but more of a fruity pebble type artificial fruit, sweet smell. A little cereally, but definitely on the sweeter side, which is what reminded me of that. Yeah, very reminiscent of fruity pebbles, a little caramel in there. But it's overall very light. Like those are like the only couple notes that I'm kind of getting here. And even though I'm getting those notes, like they're very muted, I would say. It's not that it's very bad. I actually do like the notes, just they're not powerful. Like there's not a lot there to go off of besides the fact that it is light. So I mean, it is super neat. It does smell super good, but yeah. Very, very interesting in terms of the notes. The fact that there are so, I guess, little. But again, I'm not surprised by that fact. It's just how it is. So, but anyway, let's just go ahead and get right into the glass, see how it tastes. So that fruity pebble note's not really, I don't really get that. It actually becomes a little bit more of an orange. An orange peel, kind of like a more on the bitter side. It's got a little sweetness to it, like a little orange juicy sweetness. But it's more about like orange zest, kind of like bitteriness to it. Yeah, very upfront. It's just like you get like a burst of like a little orange bitterness to it, like an orange zest type thing. You get a little bit of a grainy cereally note. It's actually not bad. Like the cereally note, it's not bad at all. Yeah, definitely a little cereally, orangey. I don't really get that fruity pebble note, which would have been nice. I think that would have elevated this a little bit. But I don't really get that, if I'm honest. It's just definitely a little young from what I'm tasting. It's not a bad thing, obviously. It's just for a cheaper bottle. Would I pay as much as would I pay up almost $40 for this? No. The only reason I did and would is because the bottle looks good and it's special edition commemorative, which again, a lot of people don't care. I just wanted it just to have a cool looking bottle because as you can see, I've made a lamp of a bottle before over here with this copper and cask. So it'd be more of a candidate to make another bottle lamp and things like that, which I have a couple other empty bottles that I'm thinking about making into lamps and other projects, things like that, because I like to hold on to that kind of stuff and make them useful again, but we'll see how it turns out. But for now, at least, that's what I've kind of got going on right now. But yeah, the flavor is not bad. It's a little bitter on the front. There's not a lot I'm getting on the flavor in terms of the front palate, and it just is like a one or two noter and is just kind of young in general. So yeah, definitely a little cereally orangey. And once we get to the finish, there is no finish. It kind of goes from mid palate and just kind of drops off the cliff. I mean, if you want to say there's a finish, it kind of just maintains those notes, really. Like I said, it's not complex. And it just goes away pretty quickly. It's almost like water within like 5 seconds, not even 2 seconds of you taking the initial sip. Yeah, definitely pretty quick on that finish and that palate. So would I recommend this bottle? Probably not. For the price point, I would not recommend it, just because I think in the mid to high 30s, low 40s range, there's a lot of really good choices, and even cheaper than this. Like, I think even in like the upper 20s, lower 30s range, like OGD 114, Jim Beam Black. I think those are types of whiskeys that I would take over this in terms of the flavor. Now, like I said, the only reason I got it, one of the only reasons I wanted to grab it, was because it was inexpensive and had a really cool bottle for the commemorative edition. So I was a sucker for the marketing, and I knew that. So if this was not July 4th and I just saw this in like October or November, maybe not, just because it wouldn't be too special. I wouldn't be really looking and seeking for that kind of bottle. But since it is July 4th, I just was kind of looking for that kind of thing and was drawn to this label. So I'm gonna give it like a 4. I would say a low 4. It's definitely below average in terms of whiskey, just from the juice on its own. I think it's definitely had some work it's got to do, some aging, some proofing. I think that once you get the age up a little bit, at least for another couple years, and get something going, maybe develop those notes. Maybe if you want to up the proof to maybe not upper 90s. I don't know. You don't necessarily have to hit 100, but I think a few more proof points would definitely help this out as well, on top of that aging. I think that would go a long way for this. And if they decided to use this juice again, that would be my recommendation. Of the proof points, 5 to 10 points, maybe upper 90s, lower 100s. Get your age up a couple more years, at least 2 more years, get it to a 4-year. Maybe just do a bottle and bond with this. I think this at bottle and bond level would be really, really good, especially if they kept it around that low, mid, high 30s, low 40s range. I think this at bottle and bond at that price would be fantastic. So, but I think that's going to be it for me today, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I hope you guys had a good 4th and have had a good July so far when you're seeing this video. Be sure to check out a couple of these videos on screen that you see. And as always, if you want to get a summarized version of this review, be sure to check the description down below. And be sure to check out some of the other videos I've done on my channel. And let me know what you think of the mic and maybe some of the other things that I've got changed, so I can kind of make this a better experience going forward. But that's going to be it for me today, guys. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you next time here on Burn and Barrel.